Guys, we've hit peak FUD for NFTs. I'm predicting that we'll hover around these prices until the next bull market. That'll undoubtedly make some of you mad, but hear me out first. The biggest collections have had massive blunders or long bleeds in the market in the last few weeks. Tweets are going viral comparing NFT prices at peak to where they are now, and everyone on NFT Twitter is predicting much more pain in the market. Sentiment is at an all-time low for NFTs. People are being emotional, and there's deals to be had all over for those willing to take the risk. I'm one of those guys, so let's dive into the details of why I'm buying right now. First off, Jim Cramer has said he wouldn't touch crypto in a million years. This means that crypto is going to the moon now and the show's over. I'm kidding, probably, but this is only the beginning of the negative sentiment swarming NFTs and cryptocurrency. My favorite is this tweet of the Wall Street Bets chairman pointing out how far Bored Apes have fallen in the past couple of years. Obviously, these NFTs led the bubble in 2021 to 2022, but the Bored Ape Yacht Club is down 90% in dollar terms. They've dropped like $40,000 in price since my last video on the topic in May. Volume of trading in NFTs has hit lows not seen since before the 2021 run-up. There may be 1,000 to 2,000 people left that are actively trading. Sales that are going through are at huge discounts compared to even a few months ago for most collections. We are in a complete capitulation phase at the moment. Most people have given up on the space completely and packed up. Those that are left are critical to the point of self-immolation, like in the case of on-chain gaming, or just pure negativity on Twitter. The flagship NFT collections have struggled immensely in the last month as well. Azuki launched their Elementals collection, which was negatively received due to how similar the art is to the original Azukis, and overly inflated the total supply of Azuki NFTs. They were 2 ETH just to mint the NFTs, and now they've fallen well below that level in floor price. Bored Apes haven't been spared from the fallout either, and they've seen a large drawdown recently as faith in the space wavered from the Azuki mishap. D-Gods, another popular collection, and Utes, their sister collection, have had a lot of flack recently as well, with Utes moving from Polygon over to the Ethereum blockchain and leaving behind that connection. And D-Gods' Season 3 art release wasn't up to snuff of what people had thought they were going to actually put out, and it's caused a lot of people to sell into really bad positions, and a lot of the loans on Blend are actually underwater right now. People are rightfully worried that their monkey pictures will go to zero, and they're acting scared. With all the negativity surrounding NFTs of folks decrying their descent to zero, how can I be so confident about a bottom? Well, for one, all this negativity is actually a great predictor of reversion to the mean. Typically in markets, when an overwhelming majority of people predict something to happen, it simply doesn't. For example, most people were not expecting the severity of the 2020 lockdowns from the pandemic. We had a massive drop in equity markets because of this unknown that blindsided markets with its severity. But while most people were stuck in the idea that markets would continue to slide after a 30% correction, we ballooned to new highs shortly after. The V-shaped recovery was all but guaranteed with the amount of stimulus money pumped in the system to prevent a massive recession. Because markets are forward-looking instruments, the unknown always does more to impact prices than the known. If most people know that NFTs will continue to drop, it might be the market bottom. But I'm not throwing money into this market on baseless conjecture. I have a few more factors behind my decision making. Price is one of them. Because of the severity and the drawdown in NFTs, a lot of even the best collections are attainable now. I can buy a Mutant Ape Yacht Club NFT for less than they've been at any point in their history in dollar terms. Even if they return to half of their all-time high prices, that's a huge return. But even more than price, I'm looking at how collections are weathering the storm of this bear market and the new utility that they're building. Let's look at the Pudgy Penguins collection for a great example of how to execute correctly. Their brand has spread massive awareness through the sale of physical toys of their adorable penguins in their NFT collection. Not only is this different sales avenue easy for people to understand and access, unlike the NFTs themselves, it also provides value to the NFT holders directly through licensing. Pudgy Penguins paid several NFT holders for licensing rights to sell these toys on their behalf. Not only do holders get direct value, but there's indirect value through exposure and pulling new people into the brand. Most people buying Pudgy Penguins toys probably won't be interested in buying an NFT, but because of the limited supply, even if a few of them are interested in the collection, it can have a real impact on the price. This model is revolutionary in the space and is proving to be a real bright spot in this bear market. Additionally, tons of new value is being added to the NFT space on a daily basis. Most platforms have used the last year to test out beta versions of their products on a smaller pool of participants. This minimizes issues if there are any and allows them to take more risks in order to figure out what works. Take a look at Blur's lending protocol, for example. It allows anyone to take out leverage that works similar to a mortgage. That level of leverage can be self-destructive, but they're using this period to fine-tune the feature before it reaches the masses. They've added warning indicators for high levels of leverage, email notifications for when your loan is refinanced, and more. Putting the icing on the cake is the recent judicial ruling over Ripple not being classified as a security when sold to retail investors. This has taken a lot of wind out of the sails of the SEC's regulation by enforcement campaign, and recently Gary said he's moving on to AI instead. A lot of regulatory uncertainty has been priced into crypto that may be unwarranted now, as we're seeing bipartisan support for crypto in Congress that would provide guardrails to onboard investors safely. This could mean a run on crypto in the near future, which would then find its way into the NFT space, just like in the 2021 run-up. But where I'm most excited and see the most value being added is the world of Web3 gaming. We're finally starting to see games that were in production during the 2021 bull run released in some capacity. Illuvium is exiting closed beta later this year and will be rolling out tons of new features alongside the open beta release. Gala Games is releasing 3 new Web3 titles in August across PC and mobile. Even Axie Infinity is building in the wake of their economy collapsing, with a new design and tons of cool features. All it takes is for one of these games to succeed to kick off another bull market in crypto gaming. Also, if you want quick updates on what's new in Web3 gaming, how to achieve financial freedom, and more, check out my newsletter in the description below. Now that we've identified why I think we've hit the bottom for NFTs, what am I buying? Well, I'm spreading the net, so to speak, because I don't want to lose everything if one of these projects goes bankrupt. I purchased 4 of the heavy metal NFTs from the Bored Apes family. I believe that these have a lot of potential because there's a suite of games being released that you'll need one to access. Right now, people seem to be sleeping on them because the game that's out right now isn't really what they were expecting, but that will soon change as the game morphs into a dungeon crawler utilizing upgraded versions of your NFT earned from the first experience. It's this kind of utility and fun that I'm looking for when I make a purchase. That, coupled with the brand name from the Bored Apes, means that this has a high potential to succeed in the next bull market. I'm not done with the Bored Apes ecosystem though, as I also bought a mutant ape. Now, this is more of a swing trade, and I intend to exit at some point in the near future. The price on these NFTs was excellent, and I used Blur's lending program to get exposure without buying the whole NFT. Some huge caveats there, though. I can afford to pay the almost 6 ETH for this NFT if I absolutely have to. If the price drops too low, my loan could be underwater, and I could lose everything if I couldn't afford to pay more of the loan off. That risk is something I've taken into account, and I can negate that downside if necessary to stay in the trade. Your mileage may vary here, but know that taking on leverage works both ways. Higher risk, higher reward. Outside of the Bored Apes, I've made several other purchases on the Web3 gaming side. I've purchased a bit of Gala Games' cryptocurrency and a couple NFTs for Gala Music, but the bulk of these purchases have been focused on Illuvium. The quality of the game's art and presentation are unrivaled, and I think that this will carry them far on release. This, coupled with the enjoyment I've already been getting from their games, the polish they put into every aspect, and the sustainable economic model they've created, make me very confident on their success. Their ILV token is at a great price in my opinion, and so I've been loading the boat. I'm now dollar cost averaging into the token every week in order to continue increasing my exposure. The token continues to bleed from here. I won't be handicapping myself by buying a lot now, and I'm more concerned that I won't be able to get enough before the price spikes, but there's only one way to find out. Really, this video is intended to make you think more critically about the state of the NFT market and whether or not you should be participating right now. Black swan events like the collapse of Binance could definitely derail this prediction. And I can't pretend to know your financial situation, but for me it makes sense to take some risk here and put myself out there in case I'm right. I'm limiting my exposure to what I can afford to lose, but if this is the bottom and I can grab a bunch of quality options at a discount, I'll be sitting pretty in the next year or two. It's possible that the hive mind of negativity on Twitter is wrong, and that's the bet I'm making right now. There's so much coming around the corner for NFTs, and I can't wait to see where the next few years takes us. Check out the video on screen now so you can ensure you're up to date on the state of Illuvium 0. You won't want to miss out on blueprints once the open beta drops. Thanks, I'll catch you in the next one.